Michigan State, everybody. That's what we want to do, and we're going to do it or die trying.
Championship is going to be the
did something for everybody. Every man, woman, and child in the state of Michigan. You have given them a tremendous gift. Congratulations. Let's sing the victors as loud and proud as we've ever sung.
college football news coming at you with a Michigan fighting Jim Harbaugh's versus the Colorado State. And you can see here in the early part of the game, they had Cade McNamara, as we're going to have a dual quarterback controversy here this year. Cade McNamara started the first half and played a series in the second half. Had a monotonous day, 9 of 18, 136, and a touchdown. And that touchdown was on a screen pass on the right side of the field, more like a bubble screen. And Roman Wilson, like we're going to take a look in the background right here, took it right here, a little bubble screen. Nice blocking by his wide receivers down the field. You see him take him off the ball, number 6, Cornelius Johnson. And then Roman Wilson dances his way, cutbacks to the left towards the center of the field, and just burns by everybody with his speed into the end zone for a 7-0 lead. And as we take a look right here, Rod Moore, a sophomore out of Clayton, Ohio, 6 foot, right? He takes an interception down the middle of the field on a bad pass by the Colorado State quarterback, nearly takes it back for a touchdown for the Michigan Wolverines. And the defense was the story of this game for the Michigan Wolverines as they dominated at the line of scrimmage against Colorado State. And you can see here Blake Corum had a great day, and that was another key aspect of the day-to-day was the power running and the speed by Blake Corum. You can see him pick his way to the outside through the offensive line and just takes it with ease, untouched into the end zone. 13 rushes for 76 yards, 5.8 yards per carry, 1 TD, and a 19 yards was his longest carry of the day, as he really didn't see too much action in the second half besides hurdling a Colorado State defender. And then this brings us to the question that had to be answered for the Michigan Wolverines was going to be their defense, right? And their defensive line after losing David Ajabo and Hutchinson to the NFL draft. Mozzie Smith has been a force up front this year, and it's only the first game against an inferior opponent, but between him and Michael Barrett up front, Michigan's front five is formidable once again this year. They beefed up from the Georgia game, and they were wreaking havoc all game with 7 sacks on the day. Here's another one of those 7 sacks by the Michigan front five, right? You can see Michael Barrett's in there. We have number 84 in there, right? Mozzie Smith, that was one of his half sacks of the game. And again, pressure up front causes a fumble here. And you had a great awareness by one of the better corners, maybe the best corner in the Big Ten, DJ Turner, picking up a ball that the whistle wasn't blowing number 5 there, and he just dances his way into the end zone for another Michigan defensive touchdown, which appears to be fast, highly skilled, and very deep on the defensive side of the ball. And that was the major question that we had coming into this season. But against an inferior Colorado State team, they pushed them around, they bullied them all day, and they appear to have very good cover corners and a very physical, beefy up front five that can get pressure on the quarterback just like they did last year, replacing some of the key losses to the NFL draft. And the story of the second half was really who here at College Football News, and the reason we picked Michigan to win the Big Ten championship for a second straight season is because J.J. McCarthy, the sophomore, is a dual threat quarterback, something Michigan hasn't had in a very long time, with a big arm, an accurate arm, and a natural athlete that can take it to the house. You can see Blake Corum there with one of his great runs and only plays he had to do in the second half, leaping over a Colorado State defender. But J.J. McCarthy opens up the Michigan offense because it makes the defense have to defend 2 things. Like right there on a simple read option, hands it to the third string running back in Stokes, who's got some good speed and seems to be a power back, but it makes them have to respect if McCarthy's going to keep it, because right there he fakes the inside read on the RPO, cuts out to the left side of the field, the short side, and with his natural speed and athleticism just gets around the defenders essentially untouched and walks his way into the end zone for a 22-yard touchdown, right? And that's something that he brings to the table because he can air the ball out at will and he can hit people all over the field. And this is going to be the difference to what I think for the Michigan offense. The Michigan offense with all of those weapons on the outside, Cornelius Johnson, then you got Andrell Anthony, right? Roman Wilson, who scored a touchdown today. Ronnie Bell came back after an injury last year, very talented wide receiver, and 2 good tight ends, out of the backfield, along with the versatile Donovan Edwards, it makes this a very dangerous and a very challenging offense to cover with all the weapons out there, with J.J. McCarthy in the backfield taking the snaps at quarterback, right? And you can see on one of his couple of throws, he was 4 out of 4 for 30 yards, 7.5 yards, mostly on inside read option handoffs that he kept and rolled out either to the right or to the left. But he has great vision. He reads defenses. He doesn't get nervous, and he loves to throw the football and also take off and make plays. He's a natural playmaker, and that's something that you need if you want to be a champion. Almost all the champions have a playmaking quarterback that can dominate and take over a game and go down and get that touchdown when you absolutely have to have the touchdown. But now let's take a look at Colorado State's offense on the few good plays that they had today. You can see here finally early in the third quarter, the Colorado State offense kind of settled down a little bit, got into a little bit of an offensive rhythm on one drive, and for a freshman out of Snoqualmie, Washington, Clay Millen, he played very well for coming into the big house against a very talented team, and without his offensive line really being able to protect him at all, as he had 7 sacks against him. But you can see on this play, he got protection and had a little fake handoff on the inside. Then he went deep down the right sideline in the backcourt of the end zone for a Colorado State touchdown over a diving Michigan defender on a great pass by the quarterback and a great catch for Torrey Horton, a junior out of Fresno, California. Had a very good game today. 8 targets, 6 catches, 69 yards, 11.5 per reception, and that touchdown there over maybe a little bit of pass interference. A diving Michigan defender, but unfortunately for Colorado State, it just wasn't enough, as Michigan had an easy victory as expected. Stick with college football news for all the latest breaking highlights, in-game news updates each and every